Thank you. Madam Vice President, Excellencies, I'm pleased to present 3 reports submitted for your consideration under Agenda Item 10 of the Human Rights Council. Let me start with the Secretary General's report, A/HRC57/78, which provides an overview of the work of the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights in Cambodia in accordance with the Human Rights Council Resolution 54/36. The report acknowledges the positive engagement of the government with OHCHR and highlights the crucial role of the office in assisting the government and the people of Cambodia in advancing human rights for all without distinction of any kind. Since the submission of the last report to the 54th session of the Human Rights Council, OHCHR has continued to assist the government in fulfilling its obligations under international human rights law for the promotion and protection of human rights, including regarding equality and non-discrimination with respect to women, LGBT persons, indigenous people, and people with disabilities. The office continues to provide technical advice on several legislative initiatives, including the draft law on the protection of the rights of persons with disabilities, the draft amendment to the law on association and non-governmental organizations, and the royal decree on the establishment, organization, and process of the National Authority for Alternative Dispute Resolution. The office also contributed to mainstreaming human rights in the United Nations Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework for Cambodia for the period 2024-2028, and moreover, the office highlights collaborations with the Cambodian Human Rights Committee in the framework of the office's Human Rights 75 initiative to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration for Human Rights. Excellencies, despite a significant reduction in poverty, OHCHR remains concerned over the quality of and access to essential services in Cambodia. The report calls on the government to allocate the maximum of its available resources to the social sector for the progressive realization of economic and social rights for all. It further calls on the government to substantially increase public expenditure in the area of social security, healthcare, and education with a view to reducing inequalities. A gender-responsive social protection framework developed in accordance with principles of affordability, adequacy, universality, transparency, and non-discrimination is urgently needed to provide universal coverage for all, especially for women workers in the informal economy. OHCHR also remains concerned about the restriction imposed on civic space during the reporting period. The office continued to monitor cases involving the detention and trial of human rights defenders and activists. These arrests appear to be related to exercising rights protected under the International Covenant for Civil and Political Rights. We urge the government to fully uphold the human rights protections recognized under international law and create an environment where people can freely exercise their rights and functions. While acknowledging efforts of the government to address conditions of detention, especially overcrowding, the report calls for the strengthening of alternative measures to detention. It further calls for the adoption of a national legal aid policy and the improvement of the administration of justice system through the development and use of a criminal database system developed with the support of OHCHR. Worth mentioning at this stage that the Secretary General has called on the government to continue its positive engagement with OHCHR, including by extending the Memorandum of Understanding with OHCHR for a period of 5 years to to promote sustainability of technical cooperation activities. The Office will continue to work with and provide technical support to the government of Cambodia and other relevant stakeholders to ensure respect for the right of all people in Cambodia and that no one is left behind.